Hello everyone, I'm Huskerman. This is a normal Minecraft tree. It's boring. This, on the other hand, is a custom Minecraft tree. So much more alive. Now, in today's episode, we're gonna start off with something I really want to improve in my own building. Namely, custom trees. Now, I like custom trees because they add a lot to your builds and make them feel a lot more alive, and they help tie the world together quite a bit by adding some natural foliage to your build. Breaking down trees into its parts. Let's start off with the basics. We need a tree trunk. We need branches, we need leaves, and after that we can add little details like these little pieces of wood, mushrooms, or hanging roots like this. Or we could add things like leaf piles of dead leaves and other stuff like that that makes the tree look a little nicer. Building trees. I got started removing all the normal trees to prepare the area for building some better ones. Next up, I'm gonna work my way from the smallest of oak trees all the way to the large ones through 5 different designs. And at the end, we'll put it all together into a lush forest build. So let's start off with the tiny trees. This just looks funny. It looks like a dumb Minecraft tree. It looks like I just made a regular Minecraft tree but replaced the logs with fences. Well, let me try again. I really struggled with figuring out how to place all the leaves here, and I went through a couple designs. Here's the result. It's starting to get somewhere, but man, these small ones, you're so limited with what you can do. I think I'm just gonna try to make a really small one, just as simple as it can get. There you go, custom oak tree. Simple as that. I think that's gonna be it for the small ones. Man, these are a challenge. Medium trees. Now, a great tip for every kind of build is to sometimes just take a little break, take a step back, look at what you've done, then make decisions. So right here, I've just started out again with shaping out the trunk of the tree, taking a step back and look at what I do. Let me put the leaves down and I can show you this thing completed. Now, the way I like doing leaves is to start at the ends of the branches and sort of work my way around the top and then follow gravity down so we get all these hanging leaves hanging down everywhere. All right, there we go. So, as you can see, there's a lot more you can do with the shapes on the bigger trees here. Now, like I said earlier, this is a part of my building I want to improve, and that's what I'm doing here together with you guys here today. And it's just a really fun challenge trying to actually just sit down and focus on building just these specific trees. I think this one turned out pretty good. I can't wait to try and build the biggest one of these. That's gonna be fun. Big old tree. Make a big old tree, you gotta have big old branches, a big old tree stumps, and a big old pile of leaves hanging down. And also lots of branches and fences, and just have all these leaves hanging down, and it's gonna look so good, yes. Bigger tree. And for the bigger tree here, I'm just working my way up from just using blocks and then adding smaller and smaller blocks and just going around with the leaves again, making bigger and bigger sort of hanging leaves hanging down, like make everything bigger. Oh, and don't forget, add a campfire. And to tie everything together here, I thought I'd add a campfire and lots of leaves, little like bushes and lots of rocks. I changed up the ground here to sort of fit more into the world as well, and I think it turned out pretty good here. I especially like adding rocks and stuff like this. It just makes everything come together quite a bit more. A mega tree of doom! Now, we're going to the biggest tree I'll be building, and I'll be building it right here, smack in the middle of these other trees. And it's gonna be awesome. Now, to start off building this tree, I first decide how big I want the base of the tree to be, and then I can figure out the proportions from there. So I start just working my way up, and then I basically build my way up like all the other trees, just bigger. And the last step for me is to just eyeball how tall I want the base of the tree to be. So I just make a pillar up, then take a step back and look and see if I want to change it or not. And of course I can change this later, but that's just kind of what I do. And then I just build up the tree. I add larger branches with just working with blocks first and then adding in little details eventually as I go, just like the other trees. And I do the same thing for the leaves here. Here you can see me just adding leaves around the ends of the branches just to get the shape of the leaves around the tree first so that I can get a sense of how it will look in the end. You could even make trees that only have leaves around these edges like this, and they'd look good too. But the style I'm going for here is these big hanging leaves. And here is the final tree. Now moving on to what you've all been waiting for. Putting everything together into a fantastic forest build. I wanted to make quite a dense forest here, and that's what I went for. So I just added in a bunch of these bigger trees. I built lots of bushes and smaller trees where you could sort of see through to the sky to make it more dense, which really enhances the feeling that you're inside a forest. And I also wanted to make it really like lush and have lots of plants. I added in lots of flowers, lots of moss, lots of podzol here and there, lots of mushrooms. And here is our final result. I think this turned out pretty good. We've got trees, we've got rocks, we've got bushes. We've got lots of foliage going on around here, and it's like a really dense type of forest. Now, it's not a big forest, so we can see through some spots here, but I tried to add in some bushes to make it feel more dense here and all the different plants. It really just seems like a really lush forest. Imagine if we had a biome like this in vanilla. That would be so cool. Now, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to leave a like. And if you want to see more of this type of content, click the subscribe button. Now, I'm Huskerman, and I'm out.